The megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds. Seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. They proved that from little things, big things grow. Branson, Diddy, Gates. They are kings of their game. The empire builders. Richard Branson has charmed the world with an uncanny ability to convince everyone with his wild ideas and impossible dreams. He's a guy you just can't say no to. His is an empire built on irresistible charm, towering charisma, and an eye for a great photo opportunity. There are few businessmen who have been as flamboyant or as successful than the larger-than-life British tycoon Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin music label, Virgin Atlantic Airways and Virgin Cola. Anyone can be a success, but what's made Branson an empire is his use of unorthodox business methods, lateral thinking and truly original concepts. It all started in 1971 when Branson opened a chain of record stores known as Virgin Megastores. You can now find over 350 stores worldwide. Once he got going, the momentum was irrepressible. Branson's Virgin brand grew rapidly during the 1980s as he set up Virgin Atlantic Airways and expanded the Virgin Records music label. Virgin Records were the first to sign the controversial Sex Pistols, the band no one else would touch. This is the kind of courageous thinking that has driven the billionaire's career. His key: stay ahead of technology.
The way to compete with downloading is either set up a downloading company yourself, which we have with Virgin Digital, or create an environment in a store which is actually worth going to. I mean, people do still like to get out of their flats and their houses and go and have an experience. And I think coming into a Virgin Megastore is an experience. And I think we'll surprise people with the kind of taste that we've got, not just in music, but in other products as well.
The earthly realm conquered, now for the skies. Branson went on to build Virgin Atlantic Airways, has Belgian Virgin Express, Virgin Blue in Australia, Virgin Nigeria Airline, and now Virgin America Airlines. So the sky's the limit? Not for Branson. The final frontier for the adventurer, you guessed it, space. Virgin Galactic plans to offer space flights for the paying public. Space tourism? Well, someone had to think of it. Got a spare $200,000 US?
Well, it's a dream that I've had, since I was a child. The idea of, one day going into space. To actually be building 5 spaceships, I have to pinch myself sometime when I wake up in the morning.
Chances are that no one has had as much fun on the road to becoming a billionaire than Branson has, making several record-breaking land and air, speed and distance attempts across the Atlantic by boat and hot air balloon. And lucky to be alive.
I've been rescued for 4 occasions by helicopters and various mad escapades out of the sea, and I felt I needed to give something back and say thank you.
The world is his playground, and planes and spaceships merely toys. So how about a train set rich? The Virgin Train is Europe's first passenger train powered by biofuel and is Richard Branson's latest weapon against global warming. He also plans to have his passenger aircraft eventually run on biofuel, proving that while you can conquer the world, you can change it a little as you go. It's a fantasy tale of a high school dropout that builds a commonwealth of uncommon wealth from shipping, trucking, transport and music, and is now worth a cool $3.2 billion and rising. Now, to get Sir Richard to adopt us all and put us in his will. Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, or P.Diddy, whatever you call him, he was born to rule. His influence is everywhere as a powerful recording mogul, clothing designer, movie producer, rapper and restaurateur. As the richest ever hip-hop entertainer, he's making sweet music to the tune of $358 million net and counting. Perhaps the first hugely successful music industry executive to successfully jump midstream into an even more hugely successful career as an artist. P.Diddy rapidly rose to become the rap world's preeminent MC with the same precision and skill he brought to administrating his Bad Boy record label behind the scene. He may not always have been this suave, but he's always been savvy. Diddy was born in Harlem, not exactly on the mean streets, and went on to major in business administration at Howard University, while holding hip-hop dance parties for fellow students. The themes start here: music, money, and entrepreneurial flair. Now, there's hardly a field of endeavour he's not prepared to conquer, even clothing design.
I'm an American designer that's trying to be an American designer, like purposely trying to promote being an American designer, trying to put some fire up underneath the asses of the European designers that have done such a great job. But at the end of the day, I'm wilder, I'm crazier. A lot of us are wilder and crazier. We just need a chance to really break through.
Yes, if only they could bottle what this guy's got. And look, they have. It's P. Diddy's own sweet smell of success. P. Diddy's clothing line is called Sean John after his first and middle names and is based on Diddy's own inimitable style, which he describes as swaggering, timeless and diverse. When Sean John launched its first fragrance, Unforgivable, it became the best-selling scent in the land.
Anything that I attach my name to, I don't just attach it to something for money. Anything that I put my name next to comes with a certain amount of pride and responsibility. I was very hands-on with making this fragrance. Myself, I'm into fragrances and scents and smells and different men's health and upkeep type of products and beauty products. And one of the things that finishes you off in the morning before you go out at night is your fragrance.
The clothing line Sean John, after being awarded the 2004 Men's Design Label of the Year, quickly grew from urban label to international brand. Next mountain to conquer? Hollywood? Broadway?
In the garden, I'll say, good evening, Mr. Younger. And I'll say, hello, Jefferson. How are you this evening? And I'll come in the door, and Ruth will meet me at the door, and we'll kiss. She'll grab me by the arm, and take me upstairs to your room.
Diddy just can't stop spreading the love and racking up some serious figures. Bad Boy Records has sold around 100 million records to date, with P. Diddy the company's most successful artist. Some call his music too commercial, but this bad boy makes a good living off his broad consumer appeal. Bad Boy Records is now allegedly worth US $500 million. It hasn't always been easy to keep the public on side with his many court appearances for assault, reckless driving, even owning a stolen gun. But life can't help but deliver everything this bad boy wants. Venus and Serena Williams, a tennis dynasty. Individually, they are the most gifted tennis players of their generation, but together, they are a rocketing commercial empire. The Williams sisters have scooped the highest ranking in tennis with tens of Grand Slam titles between them in an unprecedented family sweep. And And they got there because they're fast. Venus holds the record for the fastest serve ever recorded by a female player, 207 Ks. Because they're powerful, because they're aggressive, highly competitive and mentally strong. And it's all these qualities that also make them terrific businesswomen. Apart from their own fashion lines and their exorbitant appearance fees, the invitations to endorse products have been coming in since the tennis proteges were teens, and the list is as long as one of their lobbying arms: Puma, Nike, Avon, Wrigley and McDonald's. Venus was offered an 8-figure endorsement with Reebok at the tender age of 15. Proving that lightning does, in fact, strike twice, Serena is every bit as good as her older sister. Capitalising on her head-turning style, Serena had a special sportswear line at Puma and has a current one at Nike. Williams has her own line of designer clothing called Aneres, which is her first name spelt backward, selling to the sun lovers of Miami and Los Angeles. All under the gaze of the ruling king of this tennis empire, proud father and manager Richard Williams. But it was the statuesque Venus who made history when she signed the most lucrative endorsement deal ever for a female athlete, a $40 million 3-year deal with Reebok.
So we are pleased to announce that our Flirt guest creator for 2006 is Serena Williams.
On court, the Williams women are known for their steely focus and enviable concentration, but off court, it's just plain fun being a girl. And the more Serena's individual style and personality has emerged from behind her sister's shadow, the more marketable she has become.
You know, I thought it would be fun. You know, I was like, okay, that'll be cool, and it was fun. I got to mix and match some different colors, and I just had a blast with it.
Serena Williams has aced a Nike deal worth approximately $40 million. The 5-year endorsement deal makes the tennis star one of the highest paid female athletes in the world. Incentives and promotions, as well as a contract extension, could push her earnings over $50 million. Williams will work closely with Nike's team of experts to design and create a tennis shoe and apparel range.
It's pretty easy for me to wear the two hats of being an athlete and doing the jewelry line because as an athlete I have different opportunities to do different things and of course play tennis in different countries, and at the same time I design my clothes, everything that I wear with Nike. So that way I can flip it over and just take all my designs and inspirations and color that I get from fashion and make it into nice lip gloss shades.
The Williams sisters have been named 2 of the most influential women in America and continue to be the main attraction in women's tennis, perhaps even the sport as a whole. All this, and Venus is also the CEO of her interior design firm, V-Star Interiors, and has launched her own fashion line of activewear called 11. Dizzy yet? Of course, all empires start with one great lady, Mum. Watch this space for new generations of tennis Williams, stronger and faster than the last. What a nice dream. William Gates, a man of startling contradictions, computer nerd, brutal businessman and a generous philanthropist. He is the one-man empire that simply changed the world. Bill Gates is one of the 100 people who most influenced the 20th century. From the son of a wealthy family with a talent for mathematics to the young computer whiz who at 14 was earning $20,000 a year programming computers to the architect of the IT revolution. Gates founded Microsoft in 1975 and began a business career based on his own unpopular and uncompromising business style. Microsoft went from a small player to one of the major software vendors in the home computer industry.
Today, most people underestimate IT breakthroughs. I have to say, if I had a choice between the late 90s, when people overestimated how quickly things would happen and thinking that changes happen overnight, or the current environment where people are somewhat underinvesting and somewhat under-expecting what will come out, I'd much prefer this environment. But as you do long-term planning for your companies and for the country, don't underestimate that innovation.
And he knows all about innovation. The release of Windows in 1990 was a tremendous success, selling over 10 million copies. The Microsoft Corporation eventually became the largest software company, making Gates the wealthiest person in the world for several years. What could possibly be next?
When I put my fingers on, there's a camera that recognizes where I'm touching. In fact, I can touch at different places from any outside of the table. And so it's actually a Windows personal computer, but with this new Surface capability.
It all looks like fun, but he didn't get there playing all day on his Xbox. Bill Gates was the Schumacher of the technological highway, driving it faster and harder than anyone else. Gates had primary responsibility for Microsoft's product strategy, and he aggressively broadened the company's range. Wherever Microsoft achieved a dominant position, he would vigorously defend it. He has been voted one of the heroes of our time. Gates has led Microsoft for the past decades to the peak of its financial possibilities, but not yet to the limit of the imagination.
Xbox 360 has been a spectacular success. Now we're meeting the incredible demand, and in fact, we will have shipped over 10 million units before our competitor comes into the marketplace. The games are amazing, all providing online play that's really a breakthrough, and we'll have over 160 amazing titles out by the holiday.
He transformed our lives at work and at home. But where can you go when you've hit the top, when you've achieved everything you set out to achieve? You finish with empire building and start spreading the wealth. Bill Gates, his wife Melinda, and U2's lead singer Bono were named 2005 Persons of the Year for their humanitarian efforts. In 2006, Gates announced he would gradually dedicate all his time to philanthropy. Already, since 2000, Gates has given away over $29 billion to charities. His generous donations have meant that he is no longer the richest man in the world. But who's counting? The Gates and their 3 children live in one of the most expensive houses in the world, worth $125 million. Can't deny him a few rewards. The man and empire, William Gates. Hilary Duff is the quintessential American girl. Beautiful, smart and successful. But it's that other American quality that makes her unstoppable: fierce ambition. It all started when the world fell in love with the natural sweetness and wry humour of her Disney character, Lizzie McGuire. Then, with the release of the Lizzie McGuire movie in 2003 and the launch of her music career, Duff got herself some serious brand recognition and earned herself a Teen Choice Award for the Best Female Breakout Star. The foundations of a marketing empire were set. Duff's music career has exceeded all expectations. The Lizzie McGuire movie was a chance to show the world she could sing, and she has gone on to release 3 platinum albums and has sold over 13 million albums worldwide. In 2006, Hilary Duff made Rolling Stone's list of the top earning musicians, joining music heavyweights U2 and the Rolling Stones. Why stop there? Hilary Duff is CEO of her own company, a role she took over when she turned 18. She leads its business strategy and is also lead designer for all her products. There's the clothing line, Stuff by Hilary Duff, which has now expanded into furniture, fragrances and jewellery.
The stretch denim jacket has vintage-looking buttons and bustle back details with delicate embroidery. Our model is wearing a gorgeous faux fur bolero jacket with a bow tie front. And of course, every girl has got to have her favorite pair of jeans. Barbie looks great in cuffed denim, made just for her. And just like our model, Barbie knows how to accessorize her jeans with a gorgeous chocolate brown faux suede coat and soft pink faux fur trim. Now you can see why Barbie is the #1 fashion doll in the world. Just like our model, Barbie knows how to rock this look with her purple mini skirt, accessorized with an oversized belt. And don't forget, my favorite, the black leggings. Of course, it's my style. It's what I like to wear, what I feel comfortable in, and to be able to incorporate that and then see it on a Barbie and see girls get to play with it and mix and match it whatever way they like is really exciting for me.
This miss of the mass media is everywhere. She has a net wealth of $25 million from her Stuff by Duff line, albums, tours and movies. Her expanded Stuff by Hilary Duff range is expected to bag the pop princess a mighty $1 billion in sales in under 3 years. Backed up, of course, by a constant screen presence in a healthy movie career that shows no signs of slowing, currently earning Duff $2 million a film and rising. The petite tycoon is orchestrating her empire in good company. Her mother is a producer, her father a successful businessman with a string of convenience stores, and her sister Hayley shares her blonde ambition for superstardom. Fully exploiting her influence over one of the most sought-after markets, the tweens, Duff has brought out the Hilary Duff Visa card, a credit card for tweens, billed as a way girls can purchase what they want, where they want, when they want. Just make sure you get Daddy's approval first. So where to from here for the all-conquering American girl? Anywhere she wants.
And go and have an experience. And I think coming into a Virgin Megastore is an experience. And I think we'll surprise people with the kind of taste that we've got, not just in music, but in other products as well.
The earthly realm conquered, now for the skies. Branson went on to build Virgin Atlantic Airways, has Belgian Virgin Express, Virgin Blue in Australia, Virgin Nigeria Airline, and now Virgin America Airlines. So the sky's the limit? Not for Branson. The final frontier for the adventurer, you guessed it, space. Virgin Galactic plans to offer space flights for the paying public. Space tourism? Well, someone had to think of it. Got a spare and impossible dreams. He's a guy you just can't say no to. His is an empire built on irresistible charm, towering charisma, and an eye for a great photo opportunity. There are few businessmen who have been as flamboyant or as successful than the larger-than-life British tycoon Richard Branson, founder of the Virgin music label, Virgin Atlantic Airways and Virgin Cola. Anyone can be a success, but what's made Branson an empire is his use of unorthodox business methods, lateral thinking, and truly original concepts. It all started in 1971 when Branson opened a chain of record stores known as Virgin Megastores. You can now find over 350 stores worldwide. Once he got going, the momentum was irrepressible. Branson's Virgin brand grew rapidly during the 1980s as he set up Virgin Atlantic Airways and expanded the Virgin Records music label. Virgin Records were the first to sign the controversial Sex Pistols, the band no one else would touch. This is the kind of courageous thinking that has driven the billionaire's career. His key: stay ahead of technology.
The way to compete with downloading is either set up a downloading company yourself, which we have with Virgin Digital, or create an environment in a store which is actually worth going to. I mean, people do still like to get out of their flats and their houses. And
$200,000 US?
Well, it's a dream that I've had since I was a child. The idea of one day going into space. To actually be building 5 spaceships, I have to pinch myself sometime when I wake up in the morning.
Chances are that no one has had as much fun on the road to becoming a billionaire than Branson has, making several record-breaking land and air, speed and distance attempts across the Atlantic by boat and hot air balloon. And lucky to be alive.
I've been rescued for 4 occasions by helicopters and various mad escapades out of the sea, and I felt I needed to give something back and say thank you.
The world is his playground, and planes and spaceships merely toys. The megastars, the millionaires, the masterminds. Seriously wealthy, glamorous and influential. They are the rich and famous. They proved that from little things, big things grow. Branson, Diddy, Gates. They are kings of their game. The empire builders. Richard Branson has charmed the world with an uncanny ability to convince everyone with his wild ideas